Montreal shocked the Leafs in Game 1, winning that one 2-1. But since then, it's been all Toronto. 3 unanswered, and they'll try and close out the series coming up on Thursday nights at Scotiabank Arena. You take a look at this matchup, and a guy who takes a lot of criticism up there, whether it be positive attention or negative media attention, William Nylander. It's all positive right now. 4 goals in the first couple of games of this series, 4-4. I think it ties the longest streak to start a playoff series in Leafs franchise history with Wendell Clark. Are you surprised at how consistent he's been through the first couple of games?
I guess a little bit. I mean, he's a guy you're not sure what you're going to get. He seems to be a guy that plays on the perimeter. Now, he is really been a bright spot. And I think when you get Tavares out, you move Kerfoot up there in the middle, and you have Galchenyuk, who's really rejuvenated his career. You watch them play, they really have a simple game. And I think Nylander understands what Kerfoot's going to bring. It's a very simple, straight-ahead hockey game. And Galchenyuk, a guy he's got speed. He's got more speed than people think, and he's willing to forecheck. So those two guys hunt pucks. You see that line dumping pucks in, putting pucks ahead of them, and then chasing them down against the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal's D are big. They're strong, they're hard to play against, but they're not as mobile in those quick situations. So it's short dumps, it's getting on pucks, it's retrieve them, and then attack. And he's got such a good skill set. He understands the offensive zone. It's elite the way he understands it. So he puts himself in positions, his best position to shoot that puck, and he's got a lot of deception. So I love that line. I think he's really benefiting from it.
Yeah, and Galchenyuk, 3 points in that last game, number 4. This is a guy who's made multiple stops. He was a former high-end pick for the Montreal Canadiens. Hasn't quite clicked for him in certain cities, and it seems to be a good fit right now in Toronto. So you talk about guys stepping up in big situations. Another guy, Jack Campbell. If I had told you 2 weeks into the season Jack Campbell would be outplaying Carey Price in the playoffs, you would have said what?
I would have said no chance.
Tennis Channel, Jameson.
No chance. You know, and you look at Carey Price. He's so calm, and he did that in Game 1. He did a great job. And the question for decades has been the goaltending in the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it's in playoffs. What are you going to get? And, you know, Freddie Anderson was the guy, but he had a little bit of injury problem this year. Campbell comes in. There was a lot of talk that, well, he didn't really get tested. It was a play on the outside, not a lot of interior shots. The way that his teammates talk about him, the way that he is adored by the guys in the locker room, just some of how they just, you know, he wins a game and they really genuinely feel great for him. Those are good indications of how they're playing in front of him. He's a confident guy. He's a guy that was in L.A. He now gets a great opportunity in a hotbed there, and he does great things. So I'm happy for him, and you can see the confidence. We see with every team. A team that has a goaltender that's playing that way, they loosen up, they play with confidence, and you see guys, we just talked about Nylander, they get going.
Kevin Weeks was telling us last night, Spezza, Thornton, those guys are what is kind of bringing that confidence, but that laid-back mentality to a lot of these young guys in Toronto. How are these guys having such an impact both on and off the ice right now?
I mean, I could talk about this.
78 years old right now.
I love that. I mean, I played with Joe Thornton in San Jose. We used to go to the rink early to hang out with Joe. He made the atmosphere so great. We would stay late after practice. He's like a 12-year-old kid in what is he, 41? 50? I don't know how old he is. He's 41 years old. So, you know, he's a guy that it's refreshing. And I think of the Stars there, and you hear the pressure and how do they deal with this, that, and the other. Well, he confirms, in the one guy in Joe Thornton, he confirms that it's okay just to relax and laugh at yourself. And I think that's a wonderful thing. Jason Spezza, don't sleep on this guy. The value he has as a leader, it's a different type of a leader. He's a little more serious. He compliments Joe. You know, Joe can walk out of the room and leave that smile and that energy there, but, you know, Spezza can be a guy to be like the details. There's a lot of hockey that's been played between those two guys, and you throw in Wayne Simmons, you just had up there, a Warrior, and Nick Foligno, who's out of the lineup. That's one thing that you really don't value till you get to the playoffs, and it's the veteran, the value of a veteran. A coaching staff takes care of details, but the room needs to take care of itself. And when you have guys like that who have been a long way, been around a long time, seen a lot of things, for the young talent and that skill and those high-end players there in that Toronto Maple Leafs locker room, I can't even put a price tag on you. It is awesome. They've got now, I wouldn't call it a clubhouse because I feel like that's kind of a relaxed area, but there's something special there that Thornton and company provide.
Yeah, 41-37, Thornton and Spezza, and still chasing what the young guys are chasing. Their first ever Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
So,
and I hope Jumbo gets it. I hope they all get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's Joe Thornton was on some great teams. He's a guy who's done a lot of great things.
Yeah.
He's had some personal accolades. But for him to win a Stanley Cup, that'd be good for the entire world.
A lot of people out there in the hockey world rooting for Jumbo Joe. We'll see if they get it done in Game 5 against the Habs.